founder of UpSkillMe, and today we're going to continue the conversation that I started 4 videos ago about the skills that non-native speakers can develop to move to a drastically new level. And the skill we're talking about today is writing. A lot of non-native speakers read and write a lot. So what happens is that they read a lot of emails, they write a lot of emails, but when it comes to speaking, they actually facing a lot of problems because they don't have a skill. They have developed a skill of reading and replying to emails, and even that is a torture at times. So people are not sure if they're responding correctly. People are not sure how to improve their writing skills because when they reply, they copy the person who sent them an email. And very often the person who sent them an email is a non-native speaker too. So people end up copying each other and not really improving and not really learning to move to a new level. How I see writing and why it's so important. I believe that when you work on writing, you're working on the way you think. And this is the most important thing you want to change when you learn a foreign language. A lot of non-native speakers end up translating in their head all the time when they speak. When they write, they also translate. Whenever they see a foreign word, they go to Google Translate. But if you really want to enjoy the freedom of human communication in a different language, in a foreign language, then it's a different story. I love the fact that I can speak English fluently, I can communicate my ideas in Russian, and I'm fluent in German. And all 3 languages to me are like 3 parallel worlds. I see different images when I think in every language. I think differently, I choose my words differently, and I never translate from one to another. It's like 3 separate worlds, honestly. So when you write, you're developing the habit of thinking. Why writing? Because it's easy. When you write, you actually have time to think what you're saying. A lot of times when my clients speak, I record them. And then I transcribe those recordings and I show to them what they said. And they're like, no, that's not me. No, that's impossible. I couldn't have said that. I show them the recording again. Look, I didn't make this up. It's impossible to make this up. People don't have time to think, to process what they're about to say, to analyze, because they hurry to reply. Because in the situation when a person is waiting for my immediate response, I don't have that much time to think. And I end up repeating myself and I end up repeating my own mistakes, and that means I end up becoming excellent at my mistakes because I repeat them all the time. So if you really want to shift your thinking paradigm and how you think in a different language, you really need to sit down and you need to write. Honestly, writing practices in the first language work magic. Really, when I started writing in my first language, in Russian, it changed the whole game completely. But if you really want to change the game for yourself in a foreign language, and we're speaking about English in this case, you need to learn to write in such a way that it transforms the way you think. Not just write, sit down and write whatever you know, but have a strategy to write, have a strategy to edit your writing, have a strategy to improve your writing, and ultimately change the way you think, because this will change the way you speak. And this will change the way you hear words, because very often you hear words, but you have never asked yourself what they actually look like when they're written down. So we are focusing on all the skills, on listening, on reading, because you have to read a lot in order to write well, and you have to read out loud what you're writing in order to check if that actually sounds good. We're focusing on a lot of skills, but through writing, because it's, again, I'm going to repeat myself, it's the easiest strategy because you have time. You're not in a rush. When you speak, you don't have that privilege. You don't have that time. If you try to start a blog in a foreign language, to use Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, any social networks, and write in English, if you ever had to write an elevator pitch, if you ever had to write cold emails, you know that Google Translate doesn't help you. Or if you're a journalist and you're planning to write for international media, you know that Google Translate is not going to help you. Human communication is more interesting than that. And if you really want to make a connection, translating is not enough. I have developed a writing course where I'm helping people to change the way they think, because this is what I had to go through myself. And funny enough, I came up with all those strategies when I was already fluent in German, when I was already fluent in my second language. And this is when I started asking myself, how did I actually arrive here? And why am I not translating? And how does my mind work? And why do I hear every single word in German and I don't hear the same in English? So my German kind of became better for a while, and I had to rewind, come back and ask myself, wait a second, I've been learning German for 3 years only, and I spent more than 10 years learning English. What's the catch? So based on how I was learning German and how I was improving my German, I developed a strategy to improve my English dramatically. And now I write blogs, I write a lot of sales copy, I write a lot of marketing materials, I enjoy writing publications. And it's not just about writing in a beautiful way, it's really transforming the way you think. And in the beginning, it's like writing, and you write something and you edit, and you edit continuously. And then when you acquire a skill, it's you write, and you edit. And then you write again. Editing takes a lot less time when you already understand the strategy, when you understand how the language works, and when you understand how your brain works and how your thinking works. But you need to get there, you need to develop a skill. And for me, the beauty of writing is that you have the time. And you have to use this time to teach yourself to enjoy the language, to actually understand the language. Why do these people speak that way? Why do these people build sentences this way, not that way? Why translation doesn't help? My strategy is different. I want people to have control over their own skills. I want people to learn how they can do it themselves, so that they don't need anyone to check their writing. They don't need anyone to tell them how to write best. You learn it once and the skill stays with you forever. Then the only thing you need to do is to keep polishing it up. And if you write all the time, if you write continuously for business, for work, if you're starting a blog, if you're writing a book, you will eventually write a lot. You will need guidance in the beginning, but I do believe that everybody can do it on their own. Absolutely. And you don't need to rely on other people to check your work. You will be confident in your own writing, and you will receive feedback from those native speakers who actually read your stuff. But it's a very, very interesting journey when you start transforming the way you think, and then you come back to the way you used to write before, and you compare the two things, and you see tremendous difference. So use writing practices as a way to transform your thinking in a different language, as a means to develop that parallel world in your mind and build a lot of interesting neural pathways to help you understand the way native speakers think and to learn to think differently yourself. And if you want to join my online course, which I have developed for non-native speakers specifically, click on the link under the video and apply. You need to apply, you need to write a full paragraph to be approved. You will learn to write a cover letter, a resume, you will have your LinkedIn page done, you will write sales copy. There is a big section on creative writing. There is a huge section in 3 parts explaining how to edit your writing if you're not a native speaker. Then there's a section on how to teach your brain to think differently. There is a section on how to start a blog in English, how to write publications, how to write for the media, how to get ready for the interviews, how to prepare text of your presentations, and how to incorporate all the other skills: listening, reading, speaking. You're going to do all that. So the course is designed to help you learn to think differently, but also to substantially improve your English, even though you're working just on writing. But it's not just writing, it's a lot more. So you're very welcome to join my online community and take the course. And I will see you in the next videos, because I'm going to be talking about a lot more skills. If you want to see more videos like this, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you later.